Hey guys, most of you guys watching this video will probably not know who I am. Maybe the YouTube algorithm just brought you guys here, or maybe one of you guys who know me searched for my name on YouTube for whatever reason. Nice to meet you too. And I guess to start off with myself, I'm Lewis. I'm currently an incoming fourth year at university as an undergraduate. And this will be my first video that I upload, and this video is kind of hopefully expected to be a series of videos in which I will talk about myself and keep it on my channel. And I wanted it to post this because, well, I wanted to look back in a few years and be able to take a look at what I've posted and see how I've grown. And I guess this time is I thought would be a great time to start if I'm going to ever start at all. So yeah, I got an internship to begin, as you may know from the title of this video. Roughly on Thursday, I had my final interview for a company. It was a 3 round process. I had a recruiter screen, then I had a call with the person on the team, and then I had a take home assignment, and then I reviewed the take home assignment with one of the vice presidents of the company on Thursday. Hopped off the call and just got the offer. And it's in New York, and I'll be going there soon. Starts on July 13th. It's currently July 6th. And it's it's interesting because it kind of marks the beginning of, I guess, my corporate life, or I guess my it's just my work, just my life being employed, I guess. And so I look back at it, and I guess I kind of want to take a stroll down memory lane, take a long step back. And growing up, I was I remember myself always being a creative person. Now, growing up, I always really loved Legos. I really loved Legos. And I'd build a lot of shit around the house, you know. I used to build like fucking fucking coat hangers, door stoppers. I always used to build that stuff like that. And I really loved strict stuff. I really loved stuff like math, statistics, numbers, data. And while a lot of other people, kids my age, would be in the WWE, be a big fan of like video games and like fictional shows, I was always the type of kid who was into nonfiction books. And going into high school, sorry, I remember all I wanted to do was make a shit ton of money. I just chose the path that I just wanted to make so much money on. And, you know, imagine junior high school me. I was like 16 years old, and I go on Google and I search up what is the highest paying job out of college. And of course, um, the first result that showed up is investment banking or finance in general, I'd say. And I guess I was enticed by finance. I was like, oh, I'm a numbers guy. I love data. I love nonfiction stuff, and finance is all about numbers. So I decided to go into finance, thinking that was my calling. And in high school, I mean, now moving on to college, I majored in econ at the time. I'm a double major now, but at the time I was an econ major. And in my in my freshman year, I remember like I was so obsessed with setting myself up. I would like stay in a library all day, like when like everyone else was like in school and partying. I was like grind internships, apply to jobs, lie about my standing in college so I can like apply to these big jobs. And looking back, I was so stupid because I feel like as a freshman, my freshman's arguably the most important year of college. If you might be viewing this You might disagree, you might not agree, but in my opinion, freshman is the most important year of college. I met some of my best friends here, and I'm very blessed to still have been friends with all those people who went out, despite me being, not always with them on the same wavelength occasionally when it came to parties. And while all my friends were out there, finding people, a lot of my friends right now have girlfriends or boyfriends that they met in their freshman year that are still with them. I kind of stayed single and kept focusing on my future. And when my freshman year, I did get myself a couple internships and I was able to work on that, but I missed out on a big part. And moving on to sophomore year, I remember like I was applying to these jobs, and there was just this moment when I applied to all these jobs, and I was in investment banking. And investment banking, by the way, there's only so many companies that do it. There's only so many companies in the world that does investment banking services. And it's not like a tech company where there's like a million startups where you can just rapid fire apply to. And when I got there, it was just, I remember applying to the last company and I just never heard back from any of them. Heard back from a few, but didn't really get very far. And it's just like, I felt like I failed myself so hard because I had a sister who was a software engineer, a very successful one. And I felt like if I didn't get this job, then I would kind of be a more of a disappointment. I'm sure my parents wouldn't have thought that, but what's more important is that I thought that was a disappointment to myself. And moving forward, that was a really dark time, and it's a part it's a part of the reason why in my head, like, if you break down these, like, my time in college, my second year in the middle kind of just doesn't exist. Maybe because my brain like naturally repressed it because there was such little going on in my second year. But it's just like it was just a weird moment for me, and it was just a moment for me to recalibrate my thoughts. And going forward into my third year, I stepped back more into my product side. I embraced my tech side a little bit more, the tech lineage in my family. My dad's a software engineer, my sister's a software engineer. So I decided, hey, maybe there's some tech blood in me. I know that's not a real thing, but decided to do lean more into the product side. Product management, looked into that, built some of my own products myself. I actually, during my investment banking recruiting, there was this platform that I really liked called IB Vine. If any of you guys watching happen to be into like finance or like investment banking in particular, I heavily vouch for IB Vine. It's a fantastic company ran by an amazing person. But I joined there on the product side, and I was so lucky to have him. He was a product manager, and he was probably one of the smartest, nicest, most forgiving product managers that I could have worked under to get it. And moving forward in the year, I decided to apply to product roles, and I got a lot further in product roles despite me having barely committed any time to product, despite me having like committed to doing banking since my junior year of fucking high school. Like, it was crazy. And it's just like, and in the third year, it's also important that I mentioned that I had a lot of friends, and I was more open to it. I was more open to going out. I decided to ease off on myself and go out to more parties. If you ask any of my friends, then they'd tell you, wow, like, yeah, Lewis definitely opened up a lot more in his third year compared to my first year. And I kept applying, kept having fun, and right around May time, I thought it was just so over. I thought it was just so over. Because I didn't hear back from any companies, and I was just like, God, fuck, I've done it for myself again. All my friends were like planning on going out to like and like finding housing for their internships. I was still out here like registering for classes in the summer, And I was like, oh my god, I'm such a bum. I'm so unemployed. I need to find a job. And last second, actually, I literally last company that I ever applied to in this whole cycle, they ring me up for an interview. Like, hey, we love your thing. We'd love to give you an interview. I also did reach out to the recruiter, and she did help me, which was a one in a billion shot, but nonetheless, I got the interview. Went through the interview process, and just last Thursday, just 4 days ago, I got the email that I got it, and it's interesting. I feel like now the reason why I'm making this video, like not anytime before and exactly now, is because this internship. If when I get this internship, and hopefully I want to get that return offer, and I do accept that return offer, I I want to, it might be the beginning of like my life, like obviously in college, like that's one thing, but when I graduate college and I'm going to be working full time, uh it's not going to be really the same. And if this is the beginning of how I expect the next few years of my life to be, then I thought it'd be great to be nice. And about what it's like to kind of look into the future, I guess. Um, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect. I have a beautiful girlfriend. Her name is Isabella, and I want we were talking about moving in together after our fourth year, and it's really sad because a lot of my friends are California. I go to a California state school, so obviously it makes sense that a lot of them would stay in California, go to school somewhere else for med school. For those who want to pursue that path, some of my friends are staying here to do their jobs back at home. And going to New York with my girlfriend is just kind of interesting, and also makes me sad. A lot of the friends here I'm probably not gonna talk to much. Like the amount of times I'm probably gonna talk to my friends after undergrad might just be like maybe like a couple dozen times, if that's like being generous. And it's a little sad, but obviously in life you move on. Uh, you Sorry, I just got an email notification. You move on. Life brings you every time you lose something. Life brings you new people, new experiences, and at least in the holes that are left behind are always filled with something else. It's always nice. And looking up to my fourth year, I don't really know what to expect for my fourth year. I want to have fun. I'm not gonna be as involved in as many clubs. I want to spend as much time as I can with the people here, my roommates that I love very much, my friends here that I love very much, my girlfriend obviously, but she's always gonna be here. And yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. And if I could give back advice to myself, if I had to rewind time back to my first year, what would that be? Sorry, I haven't thought of this. This is kind of a video that I decided to record on myself impulsively. What would be the advice I'd give to myself? It's never that deep. It's never that deep. That's probably the advice I give to myself. Anyways, that's kind of just all I wanted to dump in my thoughts. Don't know if anyone's gonna view it. Honestly, in a few years, I might look at myself in this video and just cringe my brains out. But yeah, look forward to making more videos. This will be hopefully the first of many as I use my secret corner of the internet channel to record my life as I grow old and experience new stuff. So yeah, cheers to more things to come.